What's wrong with the Poincaré in the Poincaré conjecture? I came across this question on academia.se and I noticed its first comment. The question points to an article in the New Yorker magazine written by Sylvia Nasser and David Gruber, both of whom seem to be native English speakers. The comment says, I really dislike how the authors of that article keep writing the Poincaré for the Poincaré conjecture. The comment has gained some upvotes, but I really don't get it. What exactly is wrong with that phrase? Is it the inappropriate use of it? I am not a native English speaker, but from what I have read/heard so far, I think we should use the in such cases and it wouldn't sound so annoying. I hope this question is on topic for this site, because I thought it was about English language usage, and I appreciate any feedback.
What does the Poincaré mean? It's a conjecture, so call it a conjecture. The comment is not about the use of the but about leaving out the head noun in a compound. You don't refers to the toy store as the toy, because it would make it completely unclear what you're talking about. The lazy assumption that readers will assume that the Poincaré refers to a conjecture, instead of say, a nice restaurant down the street, seems to have caused the dislike in the comment.
I think the point is not that Nasser and Gruber are native speakers of English. Instead, the point is that they are not mathematicians, and that mathematicians would usually not call the Poincaré conjecture merely the Poincaré. Now, an art lover might indeed call the Guggenheim Museum simply the Guggenheim. So this question is not about English language and usage so much as about customary ways of speaking.
Using the surname of a mathematician as a metonym for his famous conjecture seems as counterintuitive as saying Christian fundamentalists don't believe in the Darwin or that some new discovery in astronomical physics substantiates the Einstein. No one seems to object, however, if someone admires the D or she wore to the Golden Globes, or wonders how many Rembrandts might have been destroyed in World War II. A proper name as a metonym for something created by that person, then, is not in itself unusual, but seems so in this context. In mathematics jargon, which I assume these authors are employing to imply their membership in this discourse community, the name Poincaré, with or without the accent aigu, is being used by some writers as a technical term for Poincaré's conjecture and associated terms such as map, plot, or surface, as Peter Shore has so kindly pointed out. Once the writer establishes which particular one is meant, as the New Yorker article does with conjecture several times, then it becomes the Poincaré just like the Dior at the Golden Globes. A simple Google search for the Poincaré is yielded so many hits for a variety of omitted nouns I didn't bother to count them or search using another verb. Such a search cannot, of course, determine how many mathematicians use such a construction as opposed to those who don't or who object to it. All we can know from the posted question is 2 writers for the New Yorker and some dude grousing about it on the internet. Ultimately, this is a prescriptive-descriptive conflict to be decided by the discourse community that uses the construction. A few samples show both the variety of contexts and the almost pronomial use of Poincaré. The Poincaré is a central question in topology, the study of the geometrical properties of objects that do not change when they are stretched, distorted, or shrunk. Poincaré conjecture, BBC News report. Although the Poincaré is a useful visual pattern for HRV, it has limitations. Poincaré plot, International Journal of Medical Health, Biomedical, Bioengineering and Pharmaceutical Engineering Vol. 9, No. 9, 2015. If the Poincaré is a finite set of points, then the corresponding system motion is periodic motion state. Poincaré map, Kahui Sun, Chaotic Secure Communication, de Gruyter 2015. The Poincaré is just what he said, the group of symmetries of flat spacetime. Poincaré group, Physics Forum post to question, what is a Poincaré group? In the proof of 2, we use the Poincaré map and degree theory. The following lemma guarantees that the Poincaré is well defined. Poincaré map, Journal of Mathematical Analysis and Applications 185, 1994, 480. But the implication generally does not go the other way, and since the Poincaré is true there was no special number. Poincaré conjecture, Gödel's lost letter NP equals NP, blog by Professor Dick Lipton, Georgia Tech, and Professor Ken Reagan, SUNY Buffalo. In this paper we discuss the natural candidate for the one-dimensional free Poincaré inequality, as in the classical case the Poincaré is implied by the others. Trans. Emmer. Math. SOC 365, 2013, 4811-4849. From peer-reviewed journals and monographs to blogs and forum posts, some writers, having specified unambiguously which Poincaré X is under discussion, then employ the Poincaré for subsequent mentions. While this metonymic usage may be the mathematician's version of the split infinitive or sentence adverb, the variety of genre and the status of the authors within the discourse group, seriously, are you going to tell a tenured professor at Georgia Tech how to write? Suggest that, regardless of one's personal opinion, the usage will not likely disappear anytime soon.
This is an interesting post. Besides habits and customs within a certain social sphere, I think that there are at least two specific aspects that come into play here. 1. Ambiguity versus clarity. Poincaré, Einstein, etc., have made so many contributions that the meaning of the Poincaré, or the Einstein, simply is not clear. This point has been made above already. 2. Concrete thing or physical object versus abstract idea or concept. Calling the paintings of Rembrandt, which are all unique and concrete physical objects, Rembrandt's, seems to work better than calling Mozart's music pieces, which are not tied to a certain physical representation or concrete object, Mozart's. In the case of the Guggenheim Museum, both conditions are fulfilled, and seem to foster the perhaps unusual use of the term as a metonym. Firstly, the expression is unambiguous, since there is only one Guggenheim Museum in town, i.e., per social sphere of the imagined speaker. Secondly, the Guggenheim also refers to a unique physical object, namely the building itself. On the other hand, calling the Guggenheim Foundation, say, the Guggenheim, does not seem to work as well, at least not as long as we try to refer to the abstract entity which the foundation constitutes. It only seems more common when we refer to the physical building in which the foundation is located. This presumably would also support our above observation, too, on physical objects versus abstract concepts.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.